Can we like, I don't know. Has it getting audio? I don't know. Let's test. Let's do tests. Audio tests. Audio test. 1, 2, 3. Audio test. 1, 2. Here we are. We're here, right? I wonder if we can we can do all of that. Okay. Anyway, guys, we are here. We are here to chill, talk about paranormal experiences, talk about all sorts. So let me know you're here in chat and let's have a conversation. I don't know how I can tell if anybody's in here though, so I don't know how that really works. Brand new whip just hopped in. My name's Josh and I'm popped in. But yeah. You're right. Let's just see if anyone comes in. I actually physically can't see. The only issue with this, I don't like YouTube live stuff, is that I actually can't see. Does it look normal? Because apparently last time I did it, it looked like super pixelated. Also, can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? I'm just gonna hit share. It looks great. Oh yeah. That's because I'm fucking gangster. You know what I'm saying? Looks great, sounds great. It's actually way better than like fucking like TikTok and all that, isn't it? I think personally. Do you? I don't know. All right, Mush. How we doing? Does it look better this time, Meg? Because you were in last time, you said it looked like shit. You said it looked like crap, so I like TikTok. Me too, but it does look way better, right? Which is cool. Good. What now? I know. I don't know what was going on. I think I had so much like stuff going on in the background of the computer, so I was like, So the idea of this live, guys, I feel like I was Harry from Sidemen. It's like, oh yes, recording of a potato. So the idea of this live, anyway, is basically any questions anyone watching wants to talk about it, we can talk about it. I.e., when we're talking about like paranormal, if you've got anything you want to freaking talk about, let me know in the chat. Or, send me a picture of some cool shit and I'll be like, oh, whoa, that was cool. Let me see the picture. And then I'll judge it and be like, oh, that was fake or not. And then obviously just chitter-chatting with everybody. It's the first time I've done live on here, to be fair, which is weird because AI. What do you mean AI? Oh, what, all the pictures? The thing is, there's a lot of debunkers about. So, like, there's a guy called Beardo. It's like Beardo gets scared or some shit. He does like all this debunking, and I'm really worried. Not worried because there's like obviously none of our shit's fake, but like at the same time, it's like what you don't want is someone like that putting your video on their channel saying it's fake, because it just causes a whole lot of like background shit. Like, because you imagine like you come on and someone's like posted your video saying it's fake, and like the only way you can prove any of like what we do is real is by either being there or hoping that the video that we put out is enough to make people think that it's real. Does that make sense? Getting bullied online. I don't get bullied. I don't think I would get bullied. I don't know. But do you see what I'm saying? Because like that's like the sketchiest thing, because like then obviously everybody who watches his stuff judges you and so on and so on. So it's like, That sucks. So yeah, there's that. So while we're here, if anybody has any questions in the chat, yeah, if you've got any questions, just put them in the chat because that's the whole reason for this is to like talk, questions, community building, that sort of thing. That's the idea. The idea is by the end of this to have more people talking. I don't know why I'm talking. Literally, I've got Harry from the Sidemen in my mind. So, but the idea of this is to have like more people talking, build a community, so on, talk to the people who are watching, viewing, and get more involved. So if you are here, say hello in the chat, and then yeah, we go from there. Um, let's get tarot cards. Me and Leader will look. We should, yeah, because we got this. We're gonna use this at the next investigation. Summon the spirit. So I'm gonna when we get there, I'm actually gonna ask them, just like, yo, can we light candles and then use that? I'm gonna ask them if we can light that in the building, and just see, like, I don't know if it's like, is it a gimmick or possibly? Should we see what it's got in there? White sage fragrance candle. So the problem with that is, I thought sage was to ward off the spirits, but I suppose it depends on the type, right? So if it's a good one, I suppose maybe it brings them in, and if it's a bad one, it gets them away. I guess. I don't really know, to be honest. Because obviously you use sage, like we use sage at like the ramen and stuff, because like that's meant to stop like evil spirits like following you home. So I'm a bit confused as how it's going to bring them in, but we will try it and see what happens, because I mean it will look cool on video as well. Either way, it will look cool. But yeah, hopefully, I mean it does say summon the spirits on it. It's a cool little box. But I would like to do like maybe tarot cards or something like that. Would be cool. But I feel like exactly, and I feel like with like tarot cards and stuff, though, I feel like I'd want somebody who's like really into that shit to be like there, you know? Pendulums, we can try that. I mean, you've had it a few times. You've never whipped it out. Like, motherfucker, you can't read a text message. Read tarot cards. You don't read tarot. Prove it. I want proof. I want pure proof. I think tarot cards would be. Why don't you look at them? Why should we look it up? Should we look it up right now? We'll look it up right now. Let's have a look. See, I bet you can get one. You get everything on Amazon. Let's have a look on Amazon. Tarot cards. Let's have a look. Tarot cards. Here we go. Here we go. £10. 78-piece tarot card deck. Should I order some now? Should I order them? 78 pieces, complete original tarot card deck and guidebook. I don't know. If you're watching and you're not Lena or Megan and you think we should do tarot cards in our next video, let us know. Because if so, I will order the tarot cards right now. Because the idea is, so Twin Paranormals is really cool. You don't have to be in tune with tarot, in a sense. You just sort of like, you just want to find out more about the investigation you're doing. You can use the cards to see, I guess, and see if it all lines up. And the cool thing is, like, what I love about this is when I'm editing, I can actually see if it lines up before. It's fucking like there's so many times like I'll be editing the video and I'll be like, well, what the fuck? What the hell was that? Like, what was that? Like, that's crazy. I don't know. I found some for like £8, £9 tarot card set, 78 classic tarot cards for beginners and experts. I mean, if you want us to get tarot cards, let us know in the chat. Let us know in the chat. Ooh. This one comes with a little linen carry bag. This one comes with a linen carry bag. And it's only £8.99. I'll share it. I'll share it. Don't worry. Let's share this. I'm going to share it to both of you, by the way. I'm going to share it. Attach URL to Snap. But There we go. I'll send it to both of you. Comes with a little linen carry bag. That's cool. That is cool, guys. So if you are in the, I never know if you don't try. Hit that buy button. Who are you telling me to do this? Who is it? ICYA. I want to do it anyway. I'm just gonna do it. Shall I just do it? And we'll get them by Friday. By the way, guys, our next investigation is on Friday, but the video won't be till the week after because I'm not going to stay up editing it all night Friday night. I say that right now, but I can't guarantee. Anyway, ICY8, how you doing? I welcome in, welcome in. I'll see if I can show them. This is freaking cool, man. I don't know if you can see that. It comes with a linen bag. They come with like a linen bag. I sent you the link. They're like £8. They're like £8.99. It's handy. I mean, I will. I'll buy them right. What else would like anybody who's watching like to see? It just says tarot cards deck with guidebook and linen carry bag. 78 classic original tarot cards for fortune telling, ideal for beginners to experts, with meanings included. I appreciate you being here. Just a regular watcher. Come on, appreciate that. Appreciate that. So, yeah, like I say, if there's, shall I get it? Shall I get it? Shall I get them? Shall I get them? Shall I get them? Let me know. Let me know, chat. Like, if you put yes in chat, but no, this could be dangerous because I'm just gonna be like, "Do you want me to buy this, chat?" And everyone's gonna be like, "Yeah, buy it." Full send it. Fuck it. Let's just do it. Let's just add to basket. Oh, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing tarot cards then. Apparently, we're doing tarot cards next investigation, guys. Every time I look in my freaking Amazon basket, like I got. Can I remove these Instax things? Because I'm trying to proceed to check out one item. I found a good website with incense from a church and some Saint Benedict's crucifix. Yeah, but I. How do I say this? Right, tarot cards have been ordered. Everybody, we have ordered the tarot cards, so let's not worry about that. So I want to know what everybody wants us to have, like in the investigations. I've ordered the tarot cards because, like, I want to know because, like, I've, well, I purchased those. I know, did I? I didn't send you that a website with that. No way. No way. Basically, what I want to know is what people want us to do on the investigations because I always want to try something new. So I've definitely ordered those tarot cards. Tarot cards, which is handy. I wonder though, what else we could do. No. Although I did have somebody message on Facebook saying, "Yo, we do like Ouija boards and all this demon shit. You up for it?" I was like, "No." I just if I wanted to do Ouija boards, I would literally ring my parents because they would literally come down and do a Ouija board straight in front of us. Voodoo doll, monkey paw. I mean, I'm thinking more like I don't know what do people want to see. I'm thinking more like challenges, like lone walk, like me and Megan were talking about. It's like lone walkthroughs and stuff like that. You know, Tell myself. Literally, we are literally IRL phasmophobia right now. That is what we do. IRL phasmophobia. That's how we're trying to bring it along. Um, I'm thinking like lone challenges, lone walkthroughs, that sort of thing. So the idea is what I want to do is do like a you pull like whoever pulls a short straw basically will go and dance off. Whoever pulls the short straw will have to do like a lone walkthrough or something. I haven't even plumb up that. That's funny because it's funny. I would definitely not win the dance off. Yeah, we'll do the well, we got the tarot is on its way, so we'll definitely do the tarot. Um, but I'm thinking more um, like challenges, like doing, like I say, solo walkthroughs. Yeah, but the thing is, I do and I don't. I do and I don't. I like demon stuff. I don't want to. I get it, but at the same time, like if you got some spooky ass spirit there who was like fucking with you and causing all sorts, and you got like doors like I don't know if I feel like it would be worth it. Like, look, see, here's my problem. Yeah, every time, every time I do like an investigation, right? So let's say we do an investigation. We'll do one on Friday. Between then and our next investigation, I get more skeptical. So I'm like, I start thinking about like, what was? How can I explain this? How can I explain that? So then when we go to the next one, I'm already like skeptical again. So I'm already like, hmm, you know, does that make any sense? Like, does anybody else do that? Like between like investigating, you're like, by the time you get to the next investigation, you're kind of like, did that happen? Why did that happen? What else could have caused it? You know? The only thing like the biggest thing I can't explain is obviously when I felt a hand on my arm and like the kitchen, like maybe just a red light, maybe just a red light. But I think that the only thing massively unexplainable to me has been the kitchen. Like that to me, the kitchen in the Antwerp Hotel is unexplainable. Like a music box going off, the cat balls, the REM pod, how it went off, and like everything lined up so perfect, so perfect. Hey Kirsten, how you doing? Hey guys, not sure how it's supposed to use, but how about set up thermal cameras? So we have a night vision camera. Thermal cameras are like ridiculously expensive. Um, they're like 400, maybe £400. I did look at them and I thought I found a decent I thought I found one and ordered one, but turns out I just ordered a thermometer. So there's that. That's where I messed up there. Um, it is something that we plan on. Funnily enough, we talked about this earlier. So we have somewhere where we could source like a thermal drone. And the problem with a drone is like your inside is not really going to work. Um, but there's in our next video. There are some cool stuff coming. If you've played Phasmophobia, you know what dots are. That's coming. Tarot cards are coming. Pendulum is coming. Um, we're gonna try little things like not like seances. I wouldn't say they're seances, but like when we with the candle, I want to light it in the middle of the room. All of us can sit around and just feel the energy, as opposed to just walking in blind. Like it was very different at the Ram because we really did something very different there. But because everything was already there. Um, but I think the idea of doing these videos here is we're open to your yeah, hearing someone in the tunnels grunt, that's a madness. But these videos, we're open to like whatever you like. If you say to us, try this, I'm happy to try it 100%. Um, that's part of it, but also like I want to hear about like your guys' experiences as well, because like the reason we do this is to like, I guess for me was like I had some shit happen to me, not to me, but I've like witnessed some stuff, and like I'm super interested into like what's happened to other people, but at the same time, like what can we do to make it more, I guess, believable to the people watching? Because it's all good, like using the Spirit Talk app and this and that and this and that. But if there's something that you were like, this would be undeniable, obviously, other than catching like literally 7 camera angles around a door that shuts on its own, which is next to impossible, or seeing something, then it does make it super hard. exactly that. So that was good because it worked, and like there's no way it was coming out like we didn't, the things that you mentioned we didn't mention, which is one of the cool parts about it. Um, Small things like that, like things that like, it's not going to be go spend, I don't know, £1,000 on a freaking Ovilus. More like, like the dot, like the dots projector, what they call it, is literally just a laser pen with loads of different angles coming out of it, which would be cool because if you can see those move, then you're like, you can't really fake that shit. I guess I don't know. So that'll look cool. But yeah, I'm trying to think of like other things, and that's the idea of these videos, is to get ideas from people as well as like to try and make the videos better, but like at the same time, like just build that sort of community side of it. If that makes any sense to anybody, please let me know. But yeah, no, the test we did at the three things was really cool because so basically, I don't know if you've seen the Antrobus video. I would hope so. If not, go watch it. It's on the channel. And next week, if you do a minute of silence, not because of the type of place when we like the county. Well, yes, yeah. So, in my opinion, or in my vision, also, if you are watching this, guys, please like it. Just like the video, comment on it, share it, do what you can. It's super helpful because algorithms and whatnot. Because the more we do this, the more people that come in, and the more people that come in, the more, and so on and so on. So, anyway, I don't know if you can just literally like, you can tap the heart, but there's actually a like button on the live, and if you hit that, it probably boosts it more. So my vision is, I'm not going to tell anyone where we're going on the next one. I want to keep that sort of a surprise. It will be live on TikTok on Friday, but we will put the whole video on here once I've edited it. Is to have this, basically the summon spirits candle in the middle, 5 of us around it, or 5 of us around it, silent, REM pod in the middle, just sit for a minute, light it, let it do its thing, and then start like an like a introducing ourselves and just doing like a slight little bit of call outs. Call outs are really big. Yeah, I know, that's what I was agreeing with you. I was agreeing with you. So that's the idea. Not that I'm trying to ruin the video for everybody, but does anybody have any questions about the Antrobus? Table tipping, is that, I'll have to research that. Yeah, let's do a quick research because I'm interested in that. Also, if you are new to the channel, like, table tipping or table turning is a 19th century spiritualist seance phenomenon where participants sit around a table with their hands on it, waiting for the table to move, tilt, or levitate, allegedly caused by spirits. That's what they did at the ramen on the overnight, but they were doing table tipping with a rocking chair on top, and the chair was going like fucking crazy. And yeah, we could try that. We could try that. I'm open to trying anything. Like, let me note that down. Can somebody, Meg? Can you note that down, please? Can you note that down? Um, if you are new to the channel, or if you just subscribed and you don't actually know me, I'd love to know how you found the channel. Like, was it just like a recommended video, Facebook, anything like that? Because that actually helps because with the algorithm, like trying to figure out where's what, who's what, and so on. And if you want to be part of our Discord, we do have a Discord for like our viewers and, like, I don't want to say fans because that's ridiculous, but people who like our content to come in and just like talk to us and so on. So if you want to be part of that, let me know in the chat. Table tipping. So if there is a table, I will try that and I will do that. Will it work? I don't know. We'll see. I'm assuming whoever's watching, like, are we skeptics? Are we believers? Like, has anything happened to you? Let me know. Because I feel like every time I do a video, I become like 95 to 100% believer. But then between the two videos, I'm like, can I explain that scientifically? Like between the videos, I think back and I'm like, so this happened, but can I explain it? And so on and so on, which I think is like a really good way to look at it because it stops you just falling into the trap of everything being paranormal. There's a lot of channels that I see out there, like not to name any, but like everything is paranormal. Everything. You know, like everything that happens or everything they see is a paranormal experience, whether it's a car driving by and the light coming through the window, like that's paranormal. Whereas to me, I try and be quite logical about it, I guess, because I feel like that's the best way to be when it comes down to it. Because, well, one, it's not genuine, and two, it doesn't really help with your mental state. Because imagine you do that and then you get home and the dog runs up the stairs, but you didn't know the dog ran up the stairs. You're like, oh my god, there's a demon in my house. Although I would like to, I would like to do somewhere where there's like, yeah, we do 100%. Like we move things about if they're going off and that sort of thing. What's your thoughts on like? I want to, I want to go somewhere where there's like dark energy, not like I don't want to go and get possessed or like summon demons, right? But at the same time, if there was like somewhere where it's like, yo, this is supposed to be like demonic, dark energy, like I feel like I'd be well up for going there right now. I don't know. What do you think? That's just me getting ahead of myself. Excuse me, Jesus. What do you? What the ram? Yeah, I just don't know if that was. I just don't know if that was what. Oh shit, man. It was interesting. It was interesting. I wouldn't say it was shit. Like it was cool. The place, the building itself is cool. The place is cool. Not a lot. This is. I think this is our biggest worry, isn't it? Like watched YouTube paranormal investigators for so long that like when you go to these places where so much happened to them and it doesn't happen to you, doesn't put you down, but it really like makes you think about the channel you were watching. You know, does that make sense, right? And we've had this conversation before because it's like I don't know why I'm yawning so much. It's like you build up through watching all of these other channels, and then when you go there and it doesn't happen, you're like, they fake it? Are they faking it? Is it fake? So on. And it's like I don't want to jump to that conclusion straight away because like if I jump to that conclusion on theirs, people are gonna jump to that conclusion on ours. Although we do things very differently. I don't know, that's interesting to think about really, because I don't know, does anybody who's watching go on like paranormal investigations, group investigations, all that sort of thing? Because I haven't done that because I get worried that sort of like anything that happens could be contaminated by the other people being there. So like, you know, if you've got like 20 people doing an investigation at the Ram Inn, for an example, and you hear a it could be one of the other 19 people. And that's what worries me about doing that. Hence why we don't do that. But no, I feel like I'd like to do like, you know, all these like demon houses in America or something like that. I don't know, fucking Conjuring House or some crazy stuff. Like I feel like that's like not the next step, but like we've got a lot. The summer is going to be packed, guys. We've got a lot planned. After we've been to America for 3 weeks, we're going to come back and it is going to be full. It is all systems go. I promise you that. Um, that being said, anybody in chat, if you've got a location that you think we should do, pop it in chat now, and I will try my best to get us there. Because that is something we're still looking at trying to do. Um, but we do have big plans. I promise you all that. Um, it's like pretty major. It's pretty like we're going to. one of the s- scariest places in the country. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. If you can guess it, I'll tell you. But that's all I can say. With somebody else, so we're doing a collaboration with somebody else, and it's gonna be top dollar, top notch. So, that being said, I don't know. Let me know if you've got any questions. If anybody in the chat's got any questions, just let me know because that is why we're here. And if you want to be a part of the Discord, let me know and I'll send you the link. If you are not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and also like the video because if you like this, it could push the algorithm and pushing the algorithm is handy because the more people we get watching, the more traction we get, the more places we can go, and so on and so on and so on. And basically, what that means is the more content you get to watch. And I hope you all enjoy the content that we put out because we put a lot of work into it. Well, I do definitely put a lot of work into it. Um, I would like to go back to um, funny you should say that. Wait, no, wait. That makes it sound like I've got a trip to Scotland planned. I haven't, but I want to. I want to go like do like the whole of the UK. Obviously, there's loads more places, but like England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland. I want to do like a location in each before. I don't know if we'll be able to do it before we go to America, but either that or we'll come back to do it, sort of thing. I think that would be cool. Um, Scotland's got some mad places. I've seen so many and it's weird because if you look at like Scotland and Wales, they've got more of like the abandoned areas as well. What got you into doing this? Just intro. Funny that. What got us into doing this? So when when Lena, my fiance, was pregnant with our now 2.5-year-old, we were like just obviously nights changed. Instead of doing this, or this, it was like let's just chill, let's just watch something. And I think it all started with Sam and Colby doing the Conjuring House. I don't know if you've heard of Sam and Colby. If you haven't, I would say check them out, but they've, in my opinion, gone downhill. So meh. Um, they did a series at like the original the Conjuring House, which the Conjuring films are based on, and so on. And it was like it was called Hell Week. So every other day for like 2 weeks, fuck me, they had investigations going. So we watched that and we were like, whoa. And then they did something with someone called Cody and Satori, which was like an ABC tapping thing. So effectively, you had two people who believed they channeled, and then they would say A, B, C, D, E, F, and then when they heard a knock, that would be the basically like a people Ouija board. And I watched it, and I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" Like, I believe. Anyway, 2 years later, turns out they were fake. But what that then led me to watch is go from Sam and Colby to overnight to Twin Paranormal and watch so many different YouTubers who do this sort of thing. And at this point, I was running a podcast and doing streaming, gaming, and whatnot. And we spoke about it so much like, I want to know the truth. Like, is this shit real? With the same thing being like, I've got my own interest in social media, YouTube, TikTok, that sort of thing. Um, and then basically we spoke about it. We had a lot of the equipment already, i.e., cameras, microphones, and so on. So it was like, I just one day stopped doing the podcast and was like, fuck it, let's just do it. So we planned it a little bit, bought all the extra bits, like all the devices, and was like, we just did it once. And then from that point, we were like, this is fucking sick. So I suppose other YouTubers got us into it, in my opinion. I don't know if Lena agrees. She's in chat, so she might be able to tell you. But yeah, I think it was watching other people doing it and wanting to know if it was real, which is good and bad at the same time because the positives are it's cool, we do it, we believe. The negatives are, like I was saying earlier, you go to places like the ancient Ramin where all these big, massive YouTube channels have been to and apparently been hunted by demons and fucking chairs being flown across the room and all this shit. And we go there, and it was a pretty chilled out evening. Like, I would have slept there. There was parts of it where I was like, and obviously we got the ball moving and so on, which was crazy. But if you compare it to what these people supposedly had happened, which I can neither confirm nor deny, it was timid. It was tame. So I suppose it's a bit like it's a blessing and a curse at the same time, because we're doing something that we really want to do, what we really enjoy and we love watching and doing now. But at the same time, it's like, does it make what we watched a little less interesting or unbelievable? I hope. Let me know if that makes sense. Um, because since we've been doing it, we actually watch a lot less of it, which is kind of sad, to be fair, because they all release on a Sunday, and we'd be like, "Oh, Sundays is ghosties night," so on. And we'd just literally for like 4 hours, be like, get the food, get the snacks, and watch these ghost hunting channels, and it was fucking awesome. So there's positives and negatives to it. Um, but again, like, not to sound pig-headed or anything, like, I do believe what we're doing is great work, and I also believe that the content that we're creating, whether we capture anything or not, is good content. And I hope you all feel the same way. If you do subscribe. But yeah, that's sort of, I hope that answers your question. Um, but that's sort of how it happened. So I guess we were sold a fake dream and then wanted to do that dream for real. I guess, I don't know. What do you reckon, Lena? Is that a good way of explaining it? And then with like the people who do it with us, Megan and so on, they're just our friends. They are not anyone who has any public image, public eye, anything like that. But I believe they're all skeptical, which is cool. And I also try to get people who would be so real. So if anything did happen, and it could be that we've misinterpreted it, or something else may have happened, it could be explained. Everyone that we have with us, I do believe, would turn around on the video and say that could have been this or that. And we do stream our investigations live on TikTok, so that would be picked up no matter what. So obviously, with like the full videos that you get, which I believe is better, obviously there's a lot of cuts and so on. You could think that in between that we're planning this or that. Everything we do is streamed live on the internet. So there is no way we can get away with being like anything but fully legit, our 100% ourselves. Which I do like, I believe covers us a fair bit, because I do get worried that there are a lot of people who fake this kind of thing. People believe in different ideas of things, different bits and bobs. I'd be interested to know what everybody who's watching, what their beliefs are. But yeah, that's sort of a very, very long-winded way to answer that. And that's probably how you can tell I did a podcast before this, because I just blah 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 blah, blah, blah. you know. But yeah, hope that answered your question. Makes sense. I've always wondered. Had a couple of unexplained happenings, but never got off my arse and done anything about it. When you say unexplained happenings, what do you mean? So, like, while you're thinking about that, whether you want to type it or whatnot, I'll tell you, like, the first unexplained happening for me. So, as I mentioned earlier, my parents would literally jump on a Ouija board in front of me and do it like right now, right in this room. So they used to fuck around with that shit that I didn't mess around with when I was younger. And we were staying at our family members up north, and they were doing a Ouija board. They do this Ouija board, and all of a sudden the kettle boils on its own. Now, I'm meant to be asleep at this point, but me being what, 6, 7, being a little rebel, was like, nah, fuck this, I'm not going to sleep. So I would hide on the stairs, like, the banisters with the two like the wooden bits. I put my head like, what's going on, and then heard the commotion. And then what I did find out they would do is whatever answer they would get, they would have a notepad, and they'd be obviously on a Ouija board. You get letters, so they'd dot 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 dot, write it all out, and it would tell a story. Then in the morning, I went down when they were all asleep, and I read the notepad, and on the notepad, it basically said my great nan's name, and then it says dot dot dot. Then my dad's name, make me a cuppa. And I'm assuming at this point my dad was like, "No, what the fuck, no," and then the kettle boiled. So that was like the first like, obviously it wasn't my experience, but that was the first thing to me where I was like, "What the what?" Like I don't know, man. I don't know. Like people say a lot of like stories that sound super like fake bullshit, all that stuff. I don't know. Can that be explained? Maybe electrical issues, but it never happened before. Could it be a one-off electrical issue? Of course it could. Of course it could. I'm not going to sit here and deny that. But at the same time, it's like the chances of that happening, the odds of it happening after that was said and so on is pretty wild. And then for myself, it's like I've always said, like, when you go into like a dark room, dark corridor, cellar, wherever you go, and you get that ice cold feeling, like just here on the back of your neck, and your hair stand up, and you're like, somebody's watching me, and there's no one there. That is the biggest thing for me that I can say I've felt that to the point where I've been like, not even like scared, but like get me the hell out of here. Not like, no, I'm not scared. Like, obviously, I'm scared, but like, that's the feeling isn't fear. The feeling is like survival. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. I don't know if anybody who is watching has had that feeling when you go somewhere into like a cellar or a dark room and your hairs stand up and you're like, whoa, what the hell? Your fight or flight doesn't work. It's flight. It is just instant flight, 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 and you just see ya when I want to be ya, and you get out of that place as quick, as fast, and as soon as you possibly can. That to me is one of the biggest feelings I've ever had. I used to live in a house that a lot of like weird shit would happen. Not to me, but like, so this is actually a weird story. So, all in one house that I lived in, heard someone run up the stairs and into the room next to the one I was in, went to look and no one there, door slamming with force, right? Yeah, fuck that. See, the movement, the movement of that is what scares me. The fact that it has the energy or the power to slam a door is what scares me. Because they can slam a door, there's a lot more they can do. Like, easiest thing, slam a door on you, for an example. You're walking through, do, door. That scares me. Um, the footsteps, I mean, did you have animals? Did you like, because I find like maybe, now I'm not saying this happens, but it could be the case of like, let's say the house I live in now. We've got two cats and a dog, a toddler, me and my fiance, right? So that's two cats, a dog, me, so that's six things that could possibly make footsteps. So if we're in bed, just me and my fiance, and we hear footsteps, there is still another four things that could be. And if we see that our son is asleep in bed, there's still three things that could be. And at no point, if I hear this, is there two cats and a dog on my bed, because that's not how I sleep. So it's like, to me, it could be that weird shit's going on in my house, but I'd never put it to that because there's other explanations. And I think that maybe could be something that is quite common, that there may be a lot of people who are in a house and they hear something, but because they got animals, they're like, oh, it's just a dog. But you don't know it's the dog. Now, more than likely it is a dog, but there could be that really small percentage where it isn't. Again, that's me talking gibberish and shit, but it makes sense in my head. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think about that because I don't know. That's kind of sketchy. So I mentioned about the house that I lived in. So we lived in obviously a house. Also woke up to the sound of children chatting slash playing. I opened my eyes and it changed to an unbearable screeching shut my yeah. So that have you ever had like anything like sleep? No animals lived alone. Okay, cool. Yeah, see, you lived alone and you woke up to the sound of children chatting and playing. I would like to say I'd be out of there because I would. Now this is the thing I think if anything happened in my house where I was like, what the fuck? That's something paranormal. I'd still shit my pants. When we go to do these investigations, we are prepped, we are ready, we know what we're going into. When something comes out of nowhere, it is still scary to anybody. So if I'm asleep and I hear children in my ear and I wake up and there's nothing there, and then nah, I'm done. I'm actually done. Um, do you still live? It was a close call on the pan shitting. Yeah, no doubt. Do you still live in that property? Because I think I'd have to move. I think I'd actually have to move. That's what the biggest. That's good. That's good because I think the biggest fear of doing something like this is being worried that something's going to follow you home. I don't know how Lena and Megan feel about that, but that is a massive fear of mine. Is like, fuck, what if something follows me home? Or when I get home, I'm like, I've been talking to this person all night, and all of a sudden I'm asleep and I hear on the wall. I'm like, I don't know how to do an exorcism. I've got sage, and that's about as good as it gets. You know. Um. So I used to live in this house, and my dad told me a funny story about one day he woke up to get to the toilet, went for a wee, da 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 da, turned around, there was a big bright light, it flashed and disappeared. It's more like UFO shit, kind of, but at the same time paranormal. So also I'm pretty sure my mum was possessed at one point, but we'll scoot past that just for now. Um but so I'm talking to another family member about how weird that house is. And he said, did this all happen near the bathroom? And I say, yes, because my dad's experience and anything else that happened, the majority of it was either in the bathroom or near the bathroom. Well, rumor has it someone died in the bathroom, but I can't confirm that. But what I can confirm is the family member I was talking to when talking about this says when I was in, like, when I was staying at your house, so he was a close family member, and I was having a bath, I heard scratching on the walls to the point that it made me leave the bathroom, and I never showered or bathed at your house again. And I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" Because without prompting, without saying anything, just knowing what I've been told about that house and being like, oh yeah, like something like this happened. It was, and I was like, yo, that's crazy. So there's loads of little things that sort of add up to it. And the coolest thing is like I feel like you definitely find if you are into this stuff. So, for an example, with like doing the fear frequency and the investigating, there's so many more people that you realize who are interested or who have experienced something, and it's fucking mind blowing. Like I don't know, do you tell your story to anybody, or like if whoever's here, if you talk to anybody about like paranormal investigations or experiences, anything like that, I can guarantee most of the people you tell either had an experience or believe the shit out of it. There's very few people out there who are like, that didn't happen, da da da. Even if they did, they've probably have some had something happen where they're like, I don't really want to say it, you know? Let me know if that's the case. Because if so, we're all right. And that proves a lot. I don't think we really anymore. I think the world has opened up to the idea of like paranormal spirits, all that sort of stuff. I think they've opened up to it, and a lot of people you talk to now understand it or have had like what you would call like a spiritual awakening or that sort of thing. So they kind of get it a little bit more. I don't know. That is just my opinion. Also, if you're watching, make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you hit subscribe and check out the videos that I'm talking about, because all the shit that I'm talking about, the craziest shit has happened on the videos. And even like I don't think people understand how much I cut out of these videos where stuff happens. Like, even if we talk about the antrus, I cut stuff where it was like the spirit talker gives us like the perfect response, or like the REM pod going off like multiple times, or something happening and us being like, what the like, or the biggest one is like, so obviously when you finish an investigation, I'm looking through the footage and I'm going through the footage or whatnot, and you're like, wait, they said that and then this happened. And at the moment in time, it didn't make sense. And you're like, what the fuck? But then when you're going through the footage, you're like, oh, how did I miss that? And obviously, because we didn't get it and it didn't make sense, it sort of gets cut. So, like, for an example, talking about like the well and the cellar and stuff like that, like we went to the well briefly. We didn't do too much there because we didn't have time, but like it all got cut. We are going to go back and do it, but like what you see on the YouTube isn't everything. And also, like, it's like when my mum's seen a little boy by the end of the bed. Yeah. Oh, yes. Like, yeah, I remember that. I remember her saying that. And yeah, yeah. That's quite common though. Like, there was like, so I've got like my nan and my nan's sister. Like, they both witnessed the same event at the same time and stand by it. Both tell it the exact same story on Holders Field, actually. Of like this grey lady, and then also like my nan's sister, Lena knows her, not a fan, used to live in a house where shit would fly across the house like quite often. I never seen it, so it's like, but there's so many people have experienced or seen something, and if anybody watches this and they're like, yo, I have a house and shit is happening, let us come by. I would fucking love that. I would love that so much. Like, come to my house, there might be a ghost. I'd be like, yeah, let's go. And that would be so sick. That'd be so sick. But like, yeah, it's definitely becoming more zeitgeisty for sure. Like, Meg, 'cause you obviously you do it with us. You never had anything happen before doing it, and what's your opinion on it now? Like, do you like 100% believe, 30%, 20%, 50%? Like, what's yeah, I hate the thought of something following me home. Apparently, the Saint Benedict crucifix hung up by the door in your house helps it as a prayer on the back to repent any bad spirits from your home. Yeah, so this is the thing. Like, I'm all up for having that shit around my house, but I don't want to take it with me because I don't want to lose the possibility of getting the proof that we really, really want. So, like, can you imagine, like, you go somewhere and, like, obviously you'd never know, but, like, say you go somewhere and you have this fucking cross with you, yeah? And it's like, ah, it stops a certain thing happening. But if you didn't have it with you, like the ramen, perfect example. So we did the ramen. You can check the video. It's on our YouTube. Dina walked in with all her crystals in her pocket. It's quite dead. Bits are happening. Nothing crazy. She walks out, puts her crystals away, and instantly it starts to like bump up and up and up and up, and the activity gets more and more and more and more, and the responses get more and more and more and more, and we're like, what the hell? Like, how does that even like how does that happen? Like, I feel like if you get to the point where you believe in like spirits and stuff, you have to start believing in other things because they go hand in hand, like i.e. your crystals and all that sort of stuff. It does all go hand in hand. And they all the ideas of this comes from somewhere. So like you think about it, I don't know what each crystal does what, right? But let's say you've got a specific crystal, and this crystal is supposed to ward off bad spirits. Where does the idea of that being the thing come from? Where does this specific crystal warding off evil spirits, where does that idea and that story come from? Because it's not something we've created. It's been there for such a long time. Why has it been there for such a long time? And why is it still going? Is because it's probably fucking real. Like, it's probably real. Like, perfect example is sage warding off bad spirits. Where does that even come from? There's probably somewhere I can research that, but I don't need to because it comes from somebody many, 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 many years ago, and it's worked since. So it's like you have to really go from like one thing to like the next thing and so on and so on. And it does open a massive, wide array of like so much shit, but it's good shit, right? I don't know. Like, I don't know. Out of everybody who's watching, who actually like, when you watch our videos, like, are you like, yo, that's legit? Or is there certain things that happens and you're like, I don't know about that. Like, I'd be super interested to know that because I need to know, like, because everything that's happened, in my opinion, is like that's happened. Like, I've been there, and it's so different actually being there. So I see why. So when did you move out of that place as well? Like, when was the last? Was it just like a few experiences, or is it something that like went on for a while? Was it like just like a few things that happened? You're like, yo, this place is crazy, or did it like progressively get worse? Did you act on it? Did you do anything? Like, did anybody else experience anything? Tarot cards are on their way, by the way. We will have tarot cards by Friday. I am gassed for that. I'm excited. Moved out about 15 years ago. Okay, cool. And nothing followed you, so it was clearly an attachment to that house as opposed to yourself, which is a good thing. Did anybody else live there who ever said like, oh, like this weird shit happened, or was it just like, nah, no one ever spoke about it? Because you do find like a lot of people, like if something happens, they won't talk about it, which is so frustrating. Because I feel like nothing happened since. Good. I'm glad. Like I feel like when I put like stuff on Facebook or any social media, people are probably there in the background, like, oh my god, but they're so scared of what people are gonna think. Like, it's quite a big thing going into this community. Like, not I don't say I get ripped at work, but like there's a lot of people that like, they think it's kooky, weird, whatever. So taking a leap into this sort of thing is very much like be ready for the ridicule. But then a lot of people have watched the videos and are like, yo, that's crazy. And you're like, yeah, you know. Should we? I do you want us to go back to the Anthroposo and do like there is certain parts we didn't go to which have reportings in there. But do you think we should go back and do like a more definitely like more in depth in the cellar? I think the next time we go, if we go again, which we will, I think there should just be two of us that go in the cellar and really fucking really take it in and really be like, let's just fucking do it. Like, I'm open to doing that. I would do it. I'm petrified of the spiders, but I would do it. I don't know. Is that something people want to see? Because if it is, let me know. Because I'll definitely do it. Excuse me. But yeah, we definitely need to go back. There's a few places I want to go back to, actually, to be fair. I would love to be able to do the Red Line and Avebury again without the fucking audio issues, for sure. For sure. That is like my biggest bugbear of the whole channel, is like the audio issues we had there kill me. They kill me, man. They actually do. But here we are. Gonna jump off now. I'm scared to, but I think your videos are legit. Honestly, yesterday Andrews too. Let's go, Kirsten. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. And on that note, anyway, I am actually gonna end the live. An hour is good enough because you're probably getting bored of my voice. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't shared any of our stuff, if you could, that would be great. If you want to be part of the Discord, let me know in the chat like now, and I can send you the link. But we appreciate all of your support. We are a team. So big shouts to Megs, Lena, and all the gang. But yeah, appreciate anybody being here. Like I say, if you want the link to the Discord, put it in the chat now. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And if you haven't checked out our latest episodes of the Angebus or the Ram or anything like that, please go back and watch it. Promise you, it's bloody worth it. And yeah, peace out, home slices. Love you all. And yeah, appreciate the support, gang. So many questions still, I always read it. We are gonna answer them all together. Peace.